The idea is that men, particularly to make male hormones, which are more important for a man's well-being than a woman's, male hormones get produced when you feel confident in solving problems. So if your wife's talking about problems, a man will want to interrupt and solve the problem. That makes him feel good. But what makes her feel better than just solving problems, although that can feel good for a woman, it's being heard, talking and having somebody listen. And the striking thing that's kind of shocking for everybody is talking about problems is actually a major estrogen producer. And so just to get a kind of a rough idea where all this comes from, and I even witnessed it when I went down and started living with different primitive tribes that haven't been exposed to our social engineering. And you sort of see a picture emerging of a lot of pregnant women, babies, and women are all kind of tribal and taking care of their children. Men do the jungle work, the dirty, difficult, dangerous stuff, and everybody's rather happy and peaceful. And as long as nobody invades their tribe, but as a group, they're good. And imagine at night, she's getting water from the river and she sees a tiger in the woods. Now she's got a baby, she's very vulnerable. So what's her first reaction? She sees the tiger, she scuttles back very quietly, but she goes back to her home, the hut, and she has to tell somebody. Imagine how much stress she's going to feel in her body if she doesn't tell somebody about it. And she'll tell her husband, he'll get some guys together, and then they'll very quietly go and remove the tiger or do something. So you don't hunt an animal making noise, but if you're a woman and you're in stress, you got to tell somebody. So you verbalize. And there's even biology that supports that, which is under minimal stress, moderate stress, women have 8 times more blood flow to the hippocampus, which is the emotional part of the brain. And men, it stops. We become quiet. We just become thoughtful. We mull it over. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? You have to think in your head where she needs to communicate. Now that still is in our biology. And so that's why we have this huge industry of counseling. There's more counselors and doctors and nurses. I mean, it's a big industry, and then coaching beyond that. When it comes to counselors and therapists, 90% of the people who go are women. They literally want to pay somebody so they can talk. And most therapists will just ask questions, not giving so much advice. I have to say, I wish they would give more advice after a woman feels heard.
Yeah.
Because the women I experience in my office and in my seminars all around the world, they often feel that I give and give and give and I don't get back, which is they're feeling like I'm the good guy and he's the bad guy. But they don't realize that what they're giving is what women would want and not what men want. and men are over there thinking they're doing everything fine. And they actually have different ways of expressing this. We just don't understand why it's not landing. We're throwing a basketball and it just never hits the hoop. What's going on? Or throw a baseball, how do you throw one this straight? You need a mentor. You need somebody to teach you, and we need new skills for this. So